going to work out that way. I don't see why that people would think that it's necessarily that WWE doesn't want them to succeed. They might not from a bottom line standpoint, but I think from a realistic standpoint, they want people to, if they want stuff like that so that they can just take them away. But now with other options, people aren't always going to go to WWE just because of the name. That name, very much like what is it? Like let's use a sports reference for instance. Like with the New York Yankees, a lot of these free agents have been going away from the Yankees to other teams. It's not a matter of it being the Yankees anymore. The name of the New York Yankees doesn't appeal, I guess, as much. Rather as they're going to do what's best for them, whether it be financially for their family, whether it be they know, like if they want to be concerned about their stats, they'll have a better chance of building up their stats here, which they would if you're a slugger at Yankee Stadium. Or they look at the team and they're real baseball people. You know, the name the Yankees isn't the end all be all anymore for these free agents. It's going to be the same with the WWE. I mean, you already look at Bandito. Ring of Honor obviously offered him a much more lucrative contract to go there, but just because it's WWE, they didn't take the WWE discount and say, oh, well, this is my chance to work for the biggest pro wrestling company in the world. No, he went to what's going to be better for him financially. He feels that the talent, obviously, he'll get a better opportunity to showcase what he can do there. And that's what a lot of companies, a lot of these talents are going to see. A lot of these people talk. And they're going to be told stories by talents that are there, that have been misused, that have been underused, that have been used. They're going to hear a bunch of these stories, and a lot of people are going to be turned off and turned away by the WWE way, especially if Impact keeps going in the positive direction that they are. If Ring of Honor starts signing, again, more of these big-name talents, and they're just going to only get bigger. Again, after the Madison Square Garden Supercard, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with that company there. If All Elite Wrestling is what it is and who's behind it is truly behind it, people are going to want to go there. What kind of direction they're going to be going in? What kind of television deal? You know, and you have the billionaire backing on All Elite Wrestling too. Or New Japan. A lot of these guys like the Bucks and Cody, who knows what Kenny Omega's status is going to be post Wrestle Kingdom. You know, New Japan's going to be willing to spend the big freaking bucks to bring a lot of these guys in. And I got to tell you, it's going to be so interesting to see where things go from here. And the NWA is still coming up and about too. You know, they have the pop-up event coming up in January, and then they haven't announced yet when the Crockett Cup's going to be, but that's another big event that they're going to have. You know, there's all these big names that are going to be out there, and they're going to give WWE a run for their money. These talents are going to want to go where it's best fit for them. A lot of them want something to do with like a little more creative control. Some want to be able to showcase their talents in the ring instead of being restricted to the WWE style. You know, and some people just want to be in a WWE just because it's the sake of the name. So it's only going to get more interesting from here, and especially with NXT being the way it is, it's only going to be more interesting. The article continues. The option WWE has is to either cooperate with the companies or run them out of business. The idea is to shut out the talent that those companies would need in order to be considered successful. This is an illustration of what is going on in the UK scene, but it is also true a lot of ways in the United States. Twitter's full of companies announcing that talents will not be available to perform. WWE has her eyes on the world, and that's not changing. Only time will tell if fans will flock to one location to find another viable option. If WWE can help themselves, there is no chance of that happening anytime soon. Yes, and again, I just kind of pointed that out. But, you know, these talents, you know, and a lot of these talents are really going to look at it this way. Like when AJ Styles was first being courted in WWE before his first contract signing, he only saw himself in WWE's eyes as a mid-carder at best. as an Intercontinental Champion, maybe at best, at the time. And, he waited, he built equity in his name, and he did what he needed to do. And right now, he's the WWE Champion. He gave himself time. He built more of a name for himself in Japan because that was a big test. What can he do outside of Impact? So things are only getting better for him. And that's another big free agent that you're going to see potentially maybe making a move somewhere if WWE and him can't come up with a new contract for them. So who knows what that's going to be like. That's going to be insane too. So anyway, that's that. I don't think it's going to really kill anything. Honestly, for me, it's just going to give talents more of a chance to expand and to find other options, and for other talents to grow. So it'll be very interesting to see the climate of pro wrestling in 2019. And I said it before, and I'll say it now. 2018 was the best year in pro wrestling. And with that, I still think 2019 is going to be a much better year for pro wrestling than 2018 was. So, with that said, there's that article. I will actually be taking a break right now, and what I'm actually going to do is play the match that I was promising you all. It's Sadie Gibbs versus Kellyanne. From what I understand, this was Sadie Gibbs' Germany debut. And I hope you all enjoy this. On the other side, when I come back, we will be talking about the upcoming 2019 Crockett Cup. And what is your wish list for the 2019 Crockett Cup? And what is my wish list for the 2019 Crockett Cup? So I will be back. Hang in there. Thank you all for tuning in so far. And again, we'll be back on the other side of this match.
Ihre Gegnerin kommt aus Kent in England. Bei einer Größe von 1,70 Meter wiegt sie 69 Kilogramm. The Amazing Grace, Sadie Gibbs.
How sweet the Thomas, singen.
Just give me a fight.
Come on, come back to it. One.
That was nice.
Two. Oh, no. Four. Your hands out of the air. 1, 2. One. Only one.
Only one. I'm not done yet.
Come on, out of the room. 1, 2, 3. Stay fair. No, you. Out of the corner.